What's up, guys? Mark back here with yet another Sony A6300 video. One of the first suggestions that people gave to me as far as comparing the two cameras was to compare their physical characteristics. So that's kind of what I want to do here first off. If you just sort of look at it, dead on, there doesn't seem to be that much that has changed about the two cameras. Noticeably, the APS-C here on the label is not here on the Sony A6300. Other than that, the two cameras appear to be almost identical. I can't tell any significant difference from the front of these two cameras. If someone was walking around with an A6300, you would never know that it wasn't an A6000 just by looking at the front of the camera. So let's go ahead and take a look on this side. So, as you notice here on the left side of the camera, the lugs are here, and we still have the Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi symbol on the side. We don't have anything here, but we have these three little holes here. I'm not exactly for sure what those are. I'm speculating that those might even be vent holes, perhaps. Maybe because I can't tell anything else about them because... at first I thought maybe they were speakers, but the speakers or the microphones are here in the front. So I'm not 100% for sure what those are. That might actually be the speaker to the camera, but I'm not 100% for sure. I know it's not the microphones. But the next thing you'll notice that's different are the doors on the side. If you open up that one just sort of flicks open. It's got like a little notch here that you can just flick open, and it exposes the USB and the HDMI, and that's it. With this one, you actually have to sort of push that way, and it flicks open. And in the A6300, you'll notice that you have the HDMI, the USB, and a new 3.5 millimeter microphone jack. That's what I'm most excited about. I know that sounds stupid, but I really am excited about that for some reason. I guess just for the simple fact that if I don't want to record secondary audio, I don't have to anymore. So that's always a plus. Now let's turn it around here to the back. As you can see, everything is pretty much the same except for this toggle switch. The toggle switch is now a switch rather than just a button. Over here on the A6000, it was just an auto exposure lock button. Now we have AF, MF with an auto exposure lock toggle switch. So you can switch it down to that or switch it up to that. The other difference is that the writing for the AVC HD 24.3 megapixels is no longer here, obviously because this one supports more than just AVC HD. I guess that was kind of a selling point back in the day when the A6000 was announced. As far as all the other buttons on the back, you have your function button, you've got your four-way toggle scroll wheel button combo. Everything is pretty much the same. On the A6000 though, it does have... I guess that's the mode. It's got the little camera icon there in the middle, whereas this one only has two little icons at the bottom. And I believe that is for scene mode. I believe you're able to change your scene mode from there. Anyway, and then you've got your play button and then your custom function button number 2, aka your trash button, down toward the bottom. And then if we take a look over here on the right-hand side of the camera, not much has changed, but I do want you all to notice how much thicker that the A6300's grip is. That's a substantially larger grip. Like that's not just some fluke. Like that is significantly different. I would say it's probably at least a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch thicker. So you can see that it's got a bigger belly here than this one. So a lot different. It even feels different. The material, this feels like a slick, almost like a faux plastic leather. This actually has some tackiness to it. I'm really impressed with this upgraded material. I also wanted to point out that crappy video record button is still here in this same weird, odd place. Still can't figure out why they won't change that, but nonetheless, just wanted to make that make you all aware of that. And let's go ahead and take a look here at the tops of these cameras. Now, in the unboxing video, I described that the wheels on top were just a smidge different. You can see that this one over here actually had like some almost like consumer grade functions like intelligent auto, intelligent plus auto. Those have just been completely removed, and now we just have a single auto selection here. So all that's gone. You've also got your A6300 here with the 4K symbol, whereas this just has the A6000. I actually like the way the A6000 is cut into the body. This one is just printed on. It's not actually inside of the metal like this. This actually has like an indent, but that may have just been easier to do because this is more of a plastic body. This is a substantial, like a really nice heavy feel to the camera itself. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over here on the bottom real quick so we can see what the differences are here. Not much really. If you open up the battery compartments, the battery compartments are pretty much identical. Obviously this door is a little bit bigger because of the bigger grip, but the SD card still slips in right there just like it did on the Sony A6000. Really bugs me that that's still there. I don't know why they didn't change that at all, especially knowing that they have a bigger grip now. But anyway, they didn't change it. It's still a pet peeve of mine. I won't beat a dead horse here. I also wanted you all to notice too that the thickness of the screens are quite a bit different. You can even tell a difference in the material type. Like this is, yeah, it's just 100% different. There's just something that feels more premium about this material for some reason. I don't know if it's placebo effect just because it's a new camera or whatever, but I think that you all will agree that once you all get the camera itself, you'll notice that there is a significant difference in the quality of materials overall. Speaking of the materials, I do know that Sony had upgraded the materials in this particular camera. They made it so that it was, in fact, a magnesium alloy body. And it shows in not only the way that it feels, but it also shows in the heft. I mean, this thing just feels substantially more heavy than the Sony A6000. And the Sony A6000 has been no slouch. I mean, I have not babied that camera at all, but just knowing that this one is that much more rugged, I just think that it's probably going to out-survive the Sony A6000 quite a bit, actually. Now, one thing that I did notice was that this mount is significantly thicker. And I don't know if they actually changed the material or not. This just feels, I mean, seriously heavy-duty here, this mount. I do know that the Sony A6300's mount was, in fact, reinforced. So it is a beefier style mount. Let's go ahead and pop up the flash here. The flashes, they look pretty much identical. They operate in the same way, which is good because my Sony Flash bounce cards are still going to work on this new one. Let me pop this little tab out so we can take a look at the hot shoe. This one's obviously going to be different. It's still painted black, whereas the Sony A6000, I scratched all the paint off thinking that that might help with connecting my flashes better to that particular camera. It didn't end up happening, so I'm not even going to fool with it this time around. But those are all the physical differences. I also wanted to do just a quick test and see how much more the Sony A6300 weighs than the Sony A6000. So I've got a little kitchen thing here. Okay, with the battery in there, it is 357 grams. And the A6300 with a battery in there is 435 grams. So let me just, that's going to be 15.3 ounces. So we're teetering extremely close to 1 full pound. And the A6000 is about 12.5 ounces. So we're looking at a full 3 ounce difference. And it doesn't sound like that would, it would make that big of a difference, but it really does. I mean, the A6300 feels so much more substantial. It feels very tough, very rugged, as compared to the Sony A6000 does. So those are all the differences in the physical characteristics of these two cameras. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be working on doing comparisons on these two cameras and other things all day today. So be sure to stay tuned here to the Photo Video Show, and I will get you more content just as soon as I get it uploaded. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.